Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Sky 6316, 8.8 for 6,000.
Yeah, 6316, North Approach, going to maintain 3,000, number 1 for the right.
3,000, Sky 6316.
Redwood 811, going to maintain 4,000. Airport's open to Fox 1.
We take you higher and higher and higher. You feel it over and over again. We take you higher and higher and higher. You feel it over and over again.
6 Roman Carefly, runway heading, runway 5. Let's take off.
Check!
And we are ready for takeoff. Sit back, relax. It's time to travel with Cosmic Passport. Spaced Out Weekend presents Elizabeth Anglin's Cosmic Passport, a 1-hour warm-up of news, stories, thoughts, and ideas to captivate your mind. You can follow us at spacedoutradio.com.
Now 20 years have passed us by, and we look back and count the time. Burning like the summer sun, when the world was young. Silently staring from the ground, and sniffing trumpets wait to sound.
And now, here's Our Lady of Flight, Cosmic Passport with Elizabeth Anglin.
From this place.
Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio Weekend. This is Elizabeth Anglin, the host of Cosmic Passport, your one-stop shop for paranormal news and other stuff. And we're going to talk about some other stuff tonight as soon as we get going. But it is Sunday, October 30th, the night before Halloween. The veil is very, very, very thin. And you know what happened to me? I got, you know how you used to get like somebody who would call you on the phone and they would, be like the heavy breather call? Well, they couldn't get me on the phone, so they texted me, it's Halloween. It's a prank. I got a prank text. It was awesome. It was like heavy breathing without the heavy breathing and no nasty pictures. It kind of made me laugh. Anyway, welcome to October 30th, 2016. We are going to have a great guest tonight with James Tyson, Dr. Mary Barrett, who is more than a psychic medium, and James will be on in a little bit to tell us all about that. If you are listening and you are a regular listener, thank you so much for being with us. We love you here, and we would love to have you around in an even more, family-like way. No, not pregnant, but you could become an SOR space traveler if you like it here. Go on to spacedoutradio.com. That is our website. Look for the SOR space traveler portion of the homepage. Click on it and sign up to become an SOR space traveler, and you can join our chat room. You'll get archives. You'll get the monthly swag drawing and a newsletter and more, all for $5 a month. No other paranormal, ufological, cryptid, oh my goodness, conspiratorial website, talk radio website does this for you. So please go on there and give us a look-see. And really consider signing up, because I know that just the nightly password alone is worth $5 a month. By the time you get done being an SOR space traveler, your vocabulary will rival any Rhodes Scholar, all thanks to our member Bill Cardwell, who's probably not on yet, but he'll be here later, because he sets our password. And if you really want to get into what the password gets you into, you're going to grow a vocabulary. Oh my gosh. A pair of vocabularies, basically. Well, here we are. If you are listening on iTunes, thank you. Normally, or before this point, we were on Revolution Radio. We've been having a hard time getting into Studio B. But if you are a Revolution Radio listener and you've come on over to our Spreaker site at spacedoutradio.com, thank you so much for doing so. We do have a chat room there as well. And if you are a Revolution Radio listener, please, this is just one of the shows that you listen to, please consider giving them a generous donation. They are a listener-supported radio group. All right, getting on now to the paranormal on this evening, this October 30th evening, before the very scary Halloween and Days of the Dead. All right, I don't find any of this very scary. I have always enjoyed Halloween. I've never really been frightened by it. But it's here. It's upon us. It's a good time. I hope you are having a good time, and I hope the veil being thin in your neck of the wood is something that's very good for you. In terms of anomalous and paranormal news, I'm just going to go through some of the things of the week very, very quickly tonight, because James and I are going to have a conversation in a little bit about last night's show with Joanna and her guide Rob, and the changes to Cosmic Passport, which has so far, I've been reading some paranormal news, but I think we're going to go a little deeper into the thing that I do on a daily basis, which is spirit guidance. But first, before we go there, on October 30th, here's the daily paranormal news. We had a story about the werewolf. Where did lycanthropes come from? Is it a supernatural disease? Is it a mental disorder? And there has recently been some talk about it. If you are interested in seeing that talk, you can go to the Daily Grail, where they have a blog posting on the werewolf. And this is a blog posting that's in Dark Lore Volume 9, available from Amazon US and Amazon UK. And it's by Robert M. Schock, PhD. And it gives a little bit of historical information about werewolves. Now, we're not talking about Dogman per se. We're talking about the historical werewolf. And this is what he says. In the biblical book of Daniel, it is recounted that God humbled the mighty Babylonian king and conqueror of Jerusalem, Nebuchadnezzar, reigned 605 to 562 BCE, in the following manner. Nebuchadnezzar was transformed into a wild beast living in the fields for 7 years away from humanity, eating grass as cattle do. Was this a bout of insanity? The earliest recorded case of the clinical psychiatric delusion, now commonly referred to as lycanthropy? There is a clinical psychiatric delusion. I did not know this. Did you know this? I didn't know this. The term lycanthropy, derived from the Greek lykos, wolf, and anthropos, human, specifically refers to the supposed transformation of a human into a wolf, that is, a werewolf. Also, werewolf from the Old English were or were, adult male human, and wolf or lycanthrope. Same thing. In the modern psychiatric literature, lycanthropy generically refers to the delusion that one can undergo metamorphosis into an animal, be it a wolf or some other beast, also referred to as therianthropy or zoanthropy. In the psychiatric literature, various patients have thought themselves transformed not only into a wolf or a werewolf, but also into a dog, a cat, a tiger, a cow, a horse, a rabbit, a gerbil, a bird, a frog, a bee, and various unspecified animals. In the classical, medieval, anthropological, and folkloric literature, some of the animals most frequently encountered, depending on the geographic region, are wolves around the world and in the northern hemisphere, leopards in Africa and Asia, jackals, Africa and Asia, hyenas, Africa and Asia, tigers, Asia, bears, Americas, Europe, and Asia, cougars and pumas, Americas, and other large carnivores. Okay, just an aside here. I'm thinking about, prehistoric man and how often parts of rituals would involve, the wearing of a bear skin or the wearing of a leopard skin and dancing as if one were that animal. Perhaps it is not a disease that people believe they have become an animal. Perhaps it is a desire to be connected with the animal realm on a deep level that human beings have. Just an aside, I'm just thinking. Shape changers. Here's the next part. They talk about shape changers. As commonly construed, however, the concept of lycanthropy includes much more than a simple clinical condition of delusions and or hallucinations. Traditionally in folklore and mythology, some humans are said to have been physically transformed into animals. Certainly, this strains modern credulity and is open to serious question. According to one version of an ancient Greek myth, for there are many contradictory versions of this myth mentioned in Hesiod, circa 8th to 7th century BCE, and retold by later writers, Lycaon, king of Arcadia, killed and cooked one of his own sons, serving the resulting dish to Zeus in order to test the god's true divinity. As a punishment for such impiety and the horrific deed he carried out, Zeus turned Lycaon into a wolf. Of course, this is only a myth, and not to be taken literally, but many modern stories of lycanthropy from Africa have, at least by some, been taken quite seriously. Here is a typical example which took place in northern Nigeria in 1915. Quote, Lieutenant F was camped near the village of an inferior tribe. Oh my goodness, remember this is 1915. Some hyenas had made depredations in the flocks, and the lieutenant sat on watch a short distance from a goat tied up as bait. As soon as a hyena appeared, and before it could attack the goat, he fired twice and wounded the beast, which fled. 25 minutes later, drumming was heard in the village, summoning the inhabitants to a funeral, as is usual with them in the event of a death. With the first light of dawn, the officer followed up on the tracks of the wounded beast, noticing that these pointed toward the village, up to a place where there was a zone of mold worked by black ants. There the prints of paws ceased and were replaced by human footsteps, which went toward the village as far as its entrance. A short time later, the lieutenant was told of the death of one of the notables, who had died during the night of a large gunshot wound in the head. No one knew how it had been produced, but they could not allow the officer to see the body. Lieutenant F. recounted some other similar cases, including examples where a hyena or another beast was wounded in a trap and fled, followed by drumming from the village announcing a death and a funeral. Each time when he followed the tracks of the wounded animal, they led to the black ant mound where the tracks changed from paw prints to human footprints. Another similar case, one of many from the same time period and also from northern Nigeria, was relayed by a certain Captain H.H. Shot. The captain shot a very large hyena, whose tracks were easy to trace. Severely wounded in the head, it fled across a field. The tracks were followed at once, and they led to a place where the lower jaw of the animal was found lying near a large pool of blood. Immediately after, the prints led to a path towards the village. On the next day, the inhabitants presented themselves to Captain Shot to tell him, without any signs of regret, that he had killed their Nafata, junior chief, who had lost his lower jaw, carried off evidently by the gunshot. The Nafata had had a bad reputation. Everyone knew that he was a man hyena, and that he transformed himself into an enormous beast of this kind, showing extraordinary astuteness on the part of the people. So what's interesting about this to me is that it actually harkens to some Native American shape changer stories as well, but this is in Africa. Anyway, be careful out there tomorrow night. You could come across shape changers, people who are hyenas or wolves or cougars or leopards or something completely different. If you want to read this story to someone you'd like to scare, go to www.dailygrail.com to guest articles. 2016, The Werewolf. It's there. It's there for you. Read it. Have fun with it. Now, I bet you that James is across the room getting tea because he's Canadian like that, and he likes his tea.
Yeah.
You know, because he's like,
But
he's a closer offshoot to Englander.
Englander.
You know.
Abstand halten.
Englander. Yeah.
Wie geht's?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you told me that you had to run and do something, so I've been sitting here with tealess, waiting.
Oh no.
Waiting.
I have a family animal emergency. I have a puppy that needs to go outside, and he's been waiting patiently. So I'm gonna
splash
let you
over to
talk about
that.
something.
I will. I will talk about something, and let's talk about Elizabeth.
3 or 4 minutes.
All right, and that would be Elizabeth taking her dog out to powder its puppy little nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got to powder his puppy nose. All right, I'll be back in about 4 minutes.
Okay, we'll wait here.
Yeah, I'm going to put myself on mute. Bye.
Thank goodness. Little puppy farts in the distance. Welcome, everybody. And I'm still trying to get over the buzz I got last night from Joanna and her guide talking about BigFoot and DogMan and things like that. And yes, I did get a lot of criticism. It was like, oh, this is very interesting, but you should do your research before you do this. And I thought, no, I don't want to do research into the stuff I was asking about. Then I would be asking about stuff that somebody else believed, as opposed to getting the new information right from the guide's mouth, so to speak. And that's why I was doing it. I didn't want to read in too much to anything. If I read the theory of Dogman or Dogman reports from a bunch of hunters in Minnesota, that's their thing. That's what they saw, and they have an opinion. And I want to base my opinion on what Joanna had to pass on, because frankly, in the last year, she has been a lot more accurate than anybody that I've bumped into who said they saw a Sasquatch while having a few beer while on a hunting trip. So, what the heck? I kind of went into it with a list of about 73 questions and only got about 40 of them done. So, still want to know about gnomes, fairies, gnomes that take ferries across the water, a bunch of other things. And I know that there was a number of things that I did ask. I did ask for some questions to come in, via all the Facebook pages. I didn't get any. I only got questions on in the chat. So thanks very much for the guys who were pumping some questions out in the chat. And it was kind of freaky because you get a question and it was being answered as the person was typing the question. So it was kind of good. So I quite enjoyed that. Joanna's been right on when she's talking through her guides and talking about people in my life and describing them completely down. It's amazing. Down to dates of my kids' birthdays when my dad comes through with a cake and things like that. And, and again, and for any of you listen to the 9/11 show this year, that was amazing. Having Joey Giggles' cousin come through who passed in the North Tower, and then his cousin actually brought somebody else from his office forward to say hello. And we did some research, or Joey did some research, and found out, yeah, that person did work in my cousin's office, and that was wild, absolutely wild. So you can poo-poo this stuff, but this is Spaced Out Weekend and Spaced Out Radio, so give people the benefit of the doubt, and I make my mind up the way I make my mind up, just like you guys make your minds up the way you do. And no one else can tell us and influence. You take the information, you chew on it, spit out the parts you don't like, and digest what you do and see how that fits into your own beliefs and what you've seen with your own three eyes and what you feel in your gut. But it's when people try to tell me what I should believe, actually, I always run away from those people, and I think you should too, or at least give them the time of day. See where it's come from. Can I nod, smile, and move on? Because who knows, they could be right. It's like I may be interviewing the second coming of Christ, or the Christ, I should say. And we'll see how that goes, because who am I to say he's not? I'd get yelled at by some Christian fundamentalists saying that can't be the second coming of Christ because, he's not blonde and blue-eyed or something, or, the second coming's got to come from, I don't know, New Mexico and not the Congo, but who knows? Second coming of Christ.
The second coming?
Oh, see, you are here.
Yeah, I'm back. So so where's it coming from? New Mexico? From the dry and dusty land?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to repeat myself just because you're back. You can, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Listen to the recording later.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, were you talking about anything good?
No. I was talking a little bit of the show last night, and Joanna, and some of the criticism I got after about not researching it all before asking the questions. And I was explaining that I don't want to research it because the research is gathering information from people who it's their opinion based on somebody else's opinion, and it's all watered down. I'd rather just get it fresh and then kind of chew on it and figure how it fits into life.
Well, actually, people misunderstand intuitive information. The best information is information that isn't front-loaded. In terms of asking questions, yes, if you know a quick, succinct question you want to ask, and then just allow the information to come forth, that's great. But in terms of Joanna, it's really good that she's not up on the stuff that, there's stuff that I get confused about sometimes because I've heard other people's stories for a quarter century or more. And the fact that she isn't means that that it's a clear channel. There's nothing else that she can deduct or her brain can go to, or she is just listening to her guide. So that is completely invaluable. That was such a great session last night from the perspective of being a remote viewer, from being a medium, because she was unadulterated, non-front loaded. She didn't have a storyline. She was just listening to Rob. And I think it was fantastic. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think,
that's one of those things. It's just, I know, Joanne, I always giggle at her when the guy came through wearing a fly fishing vest and she had no idea why he had bugs on him. It was, that was funny. I'm just sorry, I'm answering somebody who's asking me questions during the show. And just for all those people who are wondering,
so we're going to complain.
Yeah, we're going to complain. Some of those people asking questions about the show that's coming on, our psychic coming on, Dr. Barrett, they're saying, well, it's a psychic. Can we phone in and ask questions? Well, if she allows that, that's great. But this isn't free reading night on Spaced Out weekends. You can't, oh, gee, I've got a psychic now, and for the next 2 hours, I'll be able to get readings, and this will be really cool, and maybe my aunt will tell me where she left the jewelry. No, it's if Dr. Barrett says she's happy to take calls, we'll open the lines up probably in the last hour, but it's not a hey, look, we have a psychic on. But we are going to talk about her psychic ability and how it started and how she was helping police and a few of the other things, the hypnosis part of things. So just so everybody, we're all on the same page. Okay? All on the same page. Everyone, deep breath, relax. Lots of psychics out there. If you want a reading, get a hold of Elizabeth. She does readings. What's your website?
ElizabethAnglin.com, and I've been at it for, again, a quarter of a century.
Oh,
Weeks. Man. I've been at it for a whole 2.5 weeks, for a whole 2.5 decades. So,
that's cool.
ElizabethAnglin.com.
And what we want to do, and this was a brilliant idea that I had given to me, was our guest, Jeannie Borgen, brilliant psychic, wonderful psychic investigator, teaches people, as Elizabeth does, how to hone their psychic ability, how to tune in and cut through the mumbo jumbo and become a little more confident. And we've always heard from everyone that everyone has an ability. It's just been blocked by various things in our lives since we were a kid. But if you are finding yourself a little bit psychically tuning in and you want to know how to progress through that and open that up, what Jeannie said, the next day she was getting contacted by some of our listeners who said, yeah, we'd really like to take the course and do this, and do you have these courses? And Jeannie's really, really busy working on police stuff. So she said, hey, you know what, Jim? You've got to, maybe a portion of your show, you should, every weekend, at least in both your shows, have 15, 20 minutes teaching people how to tune in. And this is what our little goddess Elizabeth will be doing. And we're getting back to Cosmic Passport. The first hour of the show is the Elizabeth show. She juggles, she dances, she wiggles like a snake.
No, let me talk about it. So okay. I didn't realize that. So I do have what I will be doing, and this was my plan for the winter anyway, is running online classes. And I have a website called Limitless Intuition, which I don't have up yet. So don't go looking for it because it's not up yet, but it'll be up. And we'll make that a place for you to come in and share some of your frustrations, experiences, some of your, I'm not sure if this is right, or, somebody told me my third eye is not open. And we're going to do some myth busting. Cool. There are lots of myths about, I have bad THs, but there's a mythology of how you become a psychic. There's a sort of religified idea that you have to be, and even really well-known teachers are spreading this around, you have to be somebody who is like almost at a level of saint on the religious hierarchy. No, you don't. You should try to be good. You want to be a good person because you don't want to be psychic and be doing bad things. But we'll go through some of those mythologies that, I am a Christian. I do believe it when the pastors say none of us have to be perfect and God doesn't expect it. You're not going to get the psychic teaching from the one who says, well, when you get to this level, then all will be revealed. No, because why? Because we're all imperfect and we're learning, and then we're learning about the things we haven't learned yet, and the things that we don't know about yet are the things that we do less well than the things that we've learned very well. But perfection is not, moral or ethical. It's good to be ethical, but spiritual, moral, ethical. We would hope you would be ethical, but we don't expect you to always be perfect, because if everyone were perfect, there would be no problems, and look at the world. So none of us are. So I will combine it with a website that you can come in, can connect with, and coursework on the website. How many days a week should we do this? Should we do this every time?
Yeah. What do you do it?
Should we do it in the road?
Should we do it in a box with a fox?
With a fox. Should we have it on a plate?
What can't we do it both Saturday and Sunday? For that would be like 40 minutes a week.
Yeah. Well, that would be 40 minutes. I'm not sure that. I think if people really get into it, I think we're going to go over a 20-minute time period. Sure. I would like to have at least one person call in. So we'll let you know, but once a week we'll have a good time period. And then I think the other time of the week we'll have another teacher or another person who is an intuitive come in and talk about their process and their pitfalls on the way.
Okay.
Or another experiencer. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we're
going to change a little bit.
It's going to change up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be relatively fluid in the first couple of weeks until Elizabeth gets in the groove, and then watch out. We're going to be good. Well, Elizabeth is going to be good. I'm not even going to be here.
Well, you are. I need you to be here. You're not. Don't.
Yeah, I got to do all that stuff. I'll just sit back. You're making
me want to sing "I Got You, Babe." What is this thing with your harmonica lately? Have you been taken over by?
No, I found it in the drawer.
One of the miners?
It was sitting up here in the old log cabin, and I found it in the drawer. Pulled it out, tried to get it working again because it looks like it was in somebody's back pocket. Probably mine for way too long. Yeah, it's not my good one. It's an old one, and it's half of it's not working, and the other half laughs at me. Looks like someone chewed on it. Looks like a horse chewed on it, actually.
Yeah, I have the same problem. I have
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, I have a Native American flute that was given to me by
Native American?
an Apache medicine man. And my roommate's black lab, who loves me, who loves to starch my under things, and if you have had a black lab, you know what that means, decided that the Native American flute, which was in a leather bag, was something of mine that he could, when he got upset that I went away, could chew on. So I have this wonderful Native American flute that was played beautifully by this Apache medicine man for many years that now has black lab teeth marks all through it. And today I sat in the shop because it wasn't very busy, and I proceeded to try to figure out, negotiate my way around the tooth marks, because he actually did bite the end that you blow through and leave tooth marks on the mouthpiece. So anyway, and this was long ago, so all, sort of black lab drool is off of the Native American flute, but it's a very sad thing, It's a nice thing, because you think, oh, he really missed me, and this is my flute, and he knew it was my flute, so he chewed on it. But on the other hand, it's like, oh, this was a really important gift from a holy man, and the dog, and I let the dog chew on it. There's no such thing as 7 years bad luck, and I doubt my friend would begrudge me the situation of the dog chewing on it. But
there's no such thing as 7 years bad luck.
Well, not for things like, your sacred objects or your objects that are gifts from holy people or holy men and Native American. You want to be careful with them, but like I said, nobody is perfect. If the dog gets the thing that's precious to you, that you are having some ego about, then the dog gets the thing that you were having some ego about. And obviously I had some ego about this flute. Because of who gave it to me. So
ego schmigo.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that. So let's talk about the show. We talked about that. One of the myths was that you had been told was that animals don't have an ego. Who told you that?
No, that wasn't me. That was a question, or no.
Oh.
Somebody. Nah, it wasn't
It
me.
wasn't a question last night. No, but you said I thought animals didn't have any ego because I was talking about, ego being a survival mechanism.
No, you read that somewhere.
No,
I remember
you said it.
If I
You
said it,
and I said, yeah.
if I said it, that's weird because of course they have egos.
Well, yeah, you think about it, and it's like they do, because if you look at horses that fight, and elk that fight, and wolves that fight, there's always, they're fighting for survival, and you have to have enough I in order to fight. And it's only been the Buddhists who are looking for sainthood who simply refuse to fight and become completely nonviolent and passive. So when she was talking, one of the questions was that we were one of the answers was that human beings were prototypes, right? Remember that?
Yes.
And that we were here to learn about emotions, but also that Earth was something about survival. The genes that we had led to more adaptability and more survivability. But I think I read into that it was because we were so independent, that we're so individual. And what is the ego but the individual I? And so this planet has a lot of beings who are who are really good at surviving as individuals through the individual I. And that's unique.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob was basically saying this place is freaking unique.
Because of the layers of emotions we have.
Yeah.
Which kind of freaks me out because really, Elizabeth, do you want to be a higher being who has no emotion?
Well, apparently even higher beings don't want to be higher beings that have no emotions. I mean,
so they come back here and hang out.
Hang out and learn about emotions. Maybe emotions are the step that got missed on the way to higher technology or higher spirituality, and this is a place where you can come back and hit that rung of the ladder, sort of like in the tree of life. Oh, what is it? What is the? See, I'm a little off to the Hebrew religion with the tree of life and the rungs of the ladder. There's a name for it.
Yeah,
they wear the red. I can't remember the name, but the rungs of the ladder. Hitting all the rungs on the ladder, it can be important. So that was interesting. So what else? I ended up losing my batteries. What did you end up talking about by the end?
You?
I missed it.
We talked about. It came back here. Let me look at my notes because I made some notes. Were you in on the reptilian conversation?
I heard that Rob basically said the reptilians were not really reptilians, but they looked like it, and they were highly, highly advanced.
They're not really reptilian. They do not look like a reptile in any way. Not.
Well, I have seen them, and they do look like a reptile. So I don't know who he was talking about.
He said they don't look like. He said they don't look like reptiles. They're actually highly advanced, and they're helping us.
Well, who are the ones that look like reptiles?
You should have asked.
That's the question. Yeah, well, I didn't want to overwhelm her, but somebody was.
See, we could always ask again, right? Heck, they're on next Sunday.
I think
we could always phone in and say, "Hey, Joanna, while you're here."
I think we should do another Rob because people do want to call and talk to Aunt Sally and ask her where their jewelry is, because what's life without Aunt Sally's jewelry? So.
But do they have to phone every week and ask about it? No.
Every other.
Every other week. That's right.
Every other week.
Yeah. This group of connections that we had through Rob and the information that we received. Of course, like anything else, one question breeds more questions.
Right.
Like, and this is what I was getting criticized for in regards DogMan. When he said DogMan to Joanna, she said it's been around since the 90s.
Yeah.
But, if you look at DogMan, no, it was cited in whatever place in the U.S. in 1887 or something. Again, what did they see in 1887? Was it the same thing? Or was it a bear with mange? Who knows? Or since the 90s, was he talking about since the 1890s, the 1790s? Who knows? Things when I go back over it, I go, okay, that should have been a follow-up to a follow-up to a follow-up to a follow-up. Because that's just the way I plan questions. It's usually a 3 to 4 question string. It's that cop thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's also a Dave Scott thing. I mean, when he teaches us to interview, he says, "Yeah, just follow up your questions when you have more questions." but it was so kind of like you're listening and you're going, "Yeah, the Vril thing, the whole Maria thing, and Hitler."
Yeah. Hitler living in South America.
In Argentina or Chile. Maybe he was in that chocolate town in Chile, or who knows? But Hitler
Argentina
got out.
Well, a bunch of the guys were in. A bunch of the boys were the boys in Brazil, but there was a bunch of them in Argentina. And
in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's a whole German town in Chile on the west coast that is. It actually looks like Germany, and they make really good chocolate. So it's like the land of chocolate from The Simpsons, where the Germans come in and they take over the power
that's
plant.
Not real, right?
It's not.
So
it's not.
One of the other things I thought was nice to know is that Rob says, no, we humans aren't working hand in hand with aliens or working on a base in Mars. There are no giant underground alien civilizations under the earth. But we missed, I had all the other ones on my list, gnomes, fairies, giants, all those other little crypto-y things that I wanted to go to and never got to. The Loch Ness Monster was interesting. That I found quite interesting. But Bigfoot, too. Bigfoot, his explanation explained a ton of why we never find any young or remains or homes of these things. I'm still confused, though, because and for the people out there who think Bigfoot breed with bears, that was me throwing bear out there. Who knows? They could breed with elk or moose or something. It's just a large mammal breeding with another large mammal.
Well, it's not even that. I think it was more complicated than that. But I think it was like a 3-year-old answer, because I've seen Bigfoot during abductions before, and it was funny because he's talking about, that there some people come that. This planet is basically a wild seed repository. There are genes here that are highly adaptable because of the wildness, and you can be spiritually very, very advanced and have an appreciation for this sort of adaptability and survival aspects of wild genes that haven't had a lot of tampering done with them. And so it seemed to me that he was saying, or I read between the lines, that there is a breeding program that the travelers do, not just with humans, but also with Bigfoot. That goes along with what I saw, because I did see a Bigfoot during an experience, and the traveler, the little gray guy who was with me, said, "Pay no attention to him." It's like, don't pay him any attention.
Ignore the elephant in the bathroom there.
Ignore that guy behind the bars who looks very unhappy to be there. who knows if they experience their being here to breed in the same way that abductees experience their being breeding stock, which is somewhat disconcerting and depending on where you are in your process, very disconcerting, depending on the year and the date and where you've gone since you found out. So, because the Bigfoot I was looking at did not look happy.
Yeah.
He looked very unhappy. He was like,
It's like, hey, don't make me go all buggy on you.
Yeah, all Bigfoot berserker on you, and
Don't you
he was behind bars.
that I'm actually a mantis? Okay, that would freak me out.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing is on the higher levels, on the interdimensional levels, what are we?
Yeah.
What are human
nothing.
beings? We didn't ask that question.
We're
We are
feed.
stardust.
To serve man.
Yes,
It's a cookbook. But he was also kind of explaining when the Greys abduct you and poke fun at you, they're really not good at it. That's why they hurt and we remember and it's painful and all that other cool stuff. That's the other thing that I never got to was in my string of questions there. Somebody kept interrupting me, but it was an agreement made with the government on a trade for the trade for technology for the you can go in and do experiments on our people if that existed.
Yeah, I mean, what about the three military guys? The three head military guys. What is there an agreement with them? And we didn't really get clear on what agreements were made with whom. But
yeah, I was kind of.
Obviously, it's all military.
Yeah, I was advised up front not to really push anything into the government, and that's what happened with the Kennedy assassination, where how many people were involved. One guy pulled the trigger, but he was never arrested. Well, who were they? Nope, not going there. And that's one of those things, and that's where we're protecting Joanna, and that's where Rob and the other guides who are looking over Rob's shoulder, making sure he's following the rules, making sure that Joanna is protected in the long run.
Yeah, you don't want somebody coming out and saying that, or, hey, we don't want another Hearts in Atlantis situation, or, even though that was fictional, something like it.
Yeah, we don't want fictional stuff happening to us.
No. We have our lives are stranger than fiction.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, let's see, Dr. Mary Barrett, we've got another 7 minutes before we switch over. How did you meet her, and what's her deal? What's going on there?
She'd be from Tennessee, and she is a friend of a guy named Brock Morin, who is one of the spaced out people here, and said, hey, I know this lady. We should, you guys should have her on. And I said, who is she and what's she about? And I went over to the website and went, oh, she's interesting. Yeah, I can see. She's in Tennessee, so she'll be up in the middle of the night talking to us. Her website is www.marybarrett.us. marybarrett.us. And it's just kind of one of those little cool things that I thought we haven't had somebody really. She is, and I don't want to say just a psychic, but she's a psychic medium. She's a writer, and one of the things that she does is do hypnosis, and that's kind of where I want to focus. A lot of this is going to be on hypnosis and how it's used in her readings. Some of the books she's written are Psychic Talk. It's a whole series of books on Psychic Talk, Soothing Messages from Heaven, and that kind of the typical kind of things you'd find in a metaphysical store. But the hypnosis angle, do you do hypnosis, Elizabeth?
I'm actually taking a past life regression course right now to become certified as a past life regression therapist, and I've done a lot of regressions, like 27 or more for alien abductions, and I can do I can do reveries, what Edgar Casey calls a reverie, where you take yourself back to a past life. And there's also some of that work in the book The Lion People by Athena Williams, which I highly recommend to people who can get their hands on it. So, I'm learning how to help people do it, but I've known how to do it I've gone under lots of hypnosis. Hypnosis is good. Hypnosis is, you can use hypnosis for good or you can use it for ill. And I will say that John Mack used it for good. There are some people out there who use it for negative. They'll reinforce the negative versus the positive. And that's programming a person to have limitations. And, you don't want to do that. But I think most of the people that we get on here, like Joanna was saying about Rob not wanting to put a label on a being, because when you put limitations on it, it's important that you keep your mind open. So if you're going to go to a hypnotherapist, go to somebody with a good attitude. Yeah. Because it'll serve you later on. Yeah. It'll serve you then and it will serve you later on.
And that's one of the things I want to talk to Mary about is, like, she's got a CD out and she is, I don't know, she's called a master hypnotist. I don't exactly know what that means, but she can put together CDs for you to achieve relaxation, drug, recovery from drug addiction, from weight loss to panic attacks to self-esteem and anger, letting anger go, meditation, all sorts of things. But those are the types of things I wonder, as somebody who's been to a hypnotist and went through a regression, do I actually, if this is anyway, yeah, it's one of the things I want to ask her, because if I'm going to get hypnotized, I want somebody there to make sure that I come out of it okay, and not get myself into a panic attack and end up walking out the door like a chicken or something. But who knows?
I'll make you a CD that'll turn you into a chicken.
You chicken maker. Boy, out of...
Tonight we have James Tyson chicken.
Why? Yeah. That's one of those things you just, as a policeman, you drive around playing it over the PA system. Everyone calm down. Everyone relax. You are a chicken. Bring me your mother's credit cards and PIN numbers. Meet me on the street. So there's a sci-fi movie for you. Everyone's got an eye device now or some kind of communication device. Send just a mass hypnotic suggestion out.
They live.
Hey,
you could look at the billboards.
You know what I predicted? Those Pokemon Go things? When they first came out, I predicted that eventually you can have them put one in your store or any business and pay for it. You'd be charged to put a Pokemon in your store, and they're doing that.
I'm sad that they're doing that, because I want to put a Pokemon in my store, even though we have crappy cell reception here. I wanted to put 10 Pokemon in my store because I figured that would bring a lot of people in. And I just, the reception will die on the porch. If they walk in the door, the reception will die. So I don't know if it's worth it.
Just get stuffed
Besides,
ones.
the store's kind of small. Like if we stuffed the store full of people, they would bump into each other and knock things over. If they were all looking for Pokemon and they all moved because they all saw the same. I am just imagining the Pokemon mob.
Put one in the back room and charge people $50 to go get it. There you go.
Ooh, and make signs. Yes, that's Pokemon. Yes,
go make signs
there. Pay toll here. Yeah.
We have been listening to Elizabeth Anglin. She is coming back with full force for Cosmic Passport. I didn't say Cosmic Caos, but I did say Cosmic Passport coming up on the weekends. And if you want to learn how to open yourself up, tune in and get those antennae polished. We're going to have Elizabeth do that for us. And thanks very much, Elizabeth, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
All right. He'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'll be right back after Dave talks to you.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium, Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on two mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. Two mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for news beyond the mainstream news? Head to spacedoutradio.com and check out the SOR Spacewire. This is Spaced Out Radio's Eric Markham, news director for the SOR Spacewire. Daily, I will bring you intriguing stories and outlandish reports from what's going on around the world. UFO sightings, paranormal activity, conspiracies, alternative health, and so much more. And if you have news, email me at news@spacedoutradio.com.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Patrolling the Pacific Northwest, we are always on the lookout for the strange and unassuming stories that real people are experiencing. Hi, I'm Vincent Zunza from Pacific North Weird. Me and Alexandra Sullivan have teamed to bring to you those odd stories that never seem to make it into the mainstream. Stories so weird that will leave you scratching your head wondering, is this real? It's as real as it gets with Pacific North Weird. You can watch our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com.
It's time to go live on Spaced Out Weekend.
13, please. Oh, hi, Kevin. Oh, is that the time? Kevin, my friend, don't you find that watch just a little bit loud? Well, I certainly hope our buddy Bumblefoot is playing when we get there. Oh, you stinky big bundle of hair. I said Bumblefoot, not Bigfoot. Oh, it's going to be a long night.
It's time to head to the 13th floor of the old log cabin for Spaced Out Weekend with James Tyson. You can tweet James at James Tyson SOR. You can find him on Instagram, Spaced Out Weekend, as well as on Facebook. On YouTube, our channel is Spaced Out Radio Show, and you can check out our website, spacedoutradio.com.
Little brother has taken control, shoveling dirt in every hole. Predators to condemn your soul, watching you and watching me. We're all connected but separated, misunderstood and so frustrated. A million armies of one have invaded, watching you and watching me. We live behind glass curtains and act like nothing's wrong. Soon you will belong. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. We wait for you to fall. We will expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere. Watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And now, perched high in his captain's chair, way above the clouds, here's James Tyson.
Hello, everybody. It's just me, James Tyson, just like Dave said. Still broadcasting from my little log cabin on the 19th floor, because I moved up a few. Here on the headquarters of Spaced Out Radio, down in the paranormal portals of the lower left Canadian coast. And tonight with us, eventually, is going to be Dr. Mary Barrett. Now, when I say eventually, this is kind of what I mean by eventually. She's... Watch this. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Hi, this is Mary. I'm not available. Please leave your name and your number, and I'll call you as soon as I can. Bye-bye.
So we did that, and we're waiting for Mary to... What kind of psychic is this? She doesn't know I'm calling her. Anyway, we're going to be getting hold of Dr. Mary here pretty quick. Now, she is, and if any of you have actually gone to Space Out Radio and the Facebook page, you'll read about her. A little bit about her. She is lives in Jackson, Tennessee, and is a really, really trusted psychic medium down there, and does life forecasts and does the reading. She's been doing this since she was quite young. Now, in 2012, she started working more with all different kinds of people around the United States and giving people a kind of a glimpse into where they're going into the future, as well as talk to their dearly departed. Now, bear in mind, what you hear from Mary is something you wouldn't want the first time around, but it's also something you definitely need to hear. So when you do talk to like Mary or any other psychic, sometimes the very first time you talk to them, you don't get what you were really looking for. Now, I personally, I'm taking this really cool course on card reading to try to get my confidence up with Paisley Town, who's one of our ladies for Two Mediums and a Large. And one of the things that Paisley's teaching me is to translate questions. It's like if you have somebody come up and I say, "Do you have a question for the reading?" And they say, "I want to know if my husband's cheating on me." Well, that's a very negative thing. The question should be, is my relationship strong and loving? And then you can kind of go for the yes or no. But to come in with this cloud over your head saying, I want to know if my husband's cheating on me. It's not going to be something, it would be very hard reading, because those kind of questions are well, basically, if you're going to ask that question, you already know he is. You're just wanting somebody else to point it out to you, because maybe your friends are all hiding it from you, and now you're going to go to a medium and go, aha, Your Honor, I'm looking for a divorce because my psychic medium said my husband is cheating on me. And, of course, the judge will show you the door and a few other locations in the place. I'm going to, this phone ringing in the background would be me calling Dr. Mary Barrett again. And hopefully she did write me earlier today saying there was an issue with telephonic communication in her community earlier this afternoon. AT&T was working on it. Well, obviously her voicemail is working just tickety-boo. So we'll find out what's going on here. She is a friend of our buddy Brock Morin, or I say Brock. It's B-R-A-C-H. He's a founder of the Paranormal Depot and lives down in Las Vegas. And this is a friend of his, and she is supposed to be absolutely fantastic. And we'll see. We'll see if she can get her phone working. And until then, if anybody out there has a comment on last night's show, if you don't mind me phoning Mary every 30 seconds in the background, you can give me a call at 575-694-6634. Again, that's 579-694-6634. Or you can get a hold of me on Skype at James_Tyson, Tyson 32. James_Tyson 32. And again, now that I've made you strangle around for your crayon, the phone number is 575-694-6634. And I almost said it in French, which is kind of freaky because I don't really speak French that well. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're waiting for Rating to hook up to Mary, and in the meantime, drop by, say hi. And if you were cool enough to listen to the show last night, that's what Mary sounds like when she is available. Oh, you probably guys, you don't hear her actually because I've got that part turned down, but we do get her voicemail when I'm calling it, and she sounds like a go-getting kind of person. But again, if you guys want to call in, fill your boots. We will go to you, and you can tell me about what you thought of the show last night with Joanna and her spirit guide, Rob. Or
Hi,
if you have
this is Mary. I'm not available. Please leave your name and your number, and I'll call.
No, Mary, we've done that a lot, and we're going to wait for someone else to call in. And maybe if you weren't making notes yesterday, let's see. I've got notes. Let's match our notes up. We've got the Echo. I've also got, I don't know if I did this on air or not, but I got the Sophia. Sophia? I wonder what that name was. And I've got the name of who I was in my past life. So that'd be kind of cool. The German pilot. I think I may have done that off air just before she hung up, because boy, she was she was really, really tired. She thought we were going to only go 9 to 11, and I pulled the midnight card on her, and she almost plotzed. And I see Shar is asking, why don't I do a reading? No, I don't want to do a reading. Let's see, doing a reading. Me doing a reading. Okay, Shar, you know what? Give me a shout. Call in, Shar. I'm going to go get my cards. They're about 15 feet behind me. So while I'm en route to do that, you have 18 seconds to listen to this.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
Stand by. I am back, and we have a caller in. Who is this caller?
This is Sharon.
Sharon.
Or Cher. Yes.
Or Cher. I would say Char.
I know. It's spelled Char. It's pronounced, it sounds like it's written like it should be Char, but it's actually Cher.
Cher. Well, wouldn't that be Cher?
Well, yes, but it's me, and it's Cher. We just, I just, instead of the O-N, I just dropped off the O-N.
Well, you can call me Jim. Call me Jim. G-Y-M.
Yeah, there you go. G-Y-M? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I said, you picked up a lot of stuff. You're pretty good.
Well,
so I figured you ought to give it a shot.
Okay, I'm going to see if we can add Mary to this call. See if she's around.
Oh, is she there?
Nope. I'm just going to phone her back and see if she's available.
Maybe you could email her. Do you think that would go through? Because she might not be getting these calls, Jim.
Hi, this is Mary.
Well, I've sent her. We've been going back and forth on Facebook during the day, and that's where I also sent a. I don't have her. I do not have her email. I have Brock's email, so send it to him.
But she got your Facebook. She got your Facebook call?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, okay.
That's where I found out her phone system had gone for a poop.
See, the thing is, if my phone is down, you'll get the voicemail, but I won't. I won't hear it ring or anything. So, because it's off in some twilight area where they keep all the voicemails and stuff. So your phone could get down and you still, somebody thinks you're getting a voicemail. It's not the old-fashioned way where it's out of order.
It's a twilight
zone. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Look at this. It appears I missed a call. All righty. Hold on here. Who has been phoning me? Who's that? Oh, that's you. I missed how many calls of yours today?
No. Me?
It says from 10:40 p.m. till 11:40. I missed 10 calls from you.
No way. I just now called. This is the first time I've called.
Oh, no. That's right. This is this was Sunday, October.
Oh, that was that night we were trying to figure out the phone number.
There we go. Alrighty. So you want me to do a reading with my schmancy cards? Okay.
I don't even know if you need cards.
Oh,
you were picking up stuff that nobody knows.
Yeah. Oh, that's when I was aggressively channeling. Holy cow. Not channeling, but it just went boom, 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 boom.
See, I really didn't think this was anything you could learn. I thought you either had the gift or you don't have the gift. And you have to practice, but I didn't really think you could learn it.
Well, Corey Mitlead, if you heard the interview I had with her, amazing psychic, like one of the top 10 in the U.S., she went and bought a set of tarot cards after watching a James Bond movie back in the 70s. And that's when she practiced. And
that's funny.
Just opened that part of her up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on it.
Didn't you say, not me, but didn't you tell the audience that you can look at just regular cards? You don't really get what they're saying, you just get your own info? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, you could do it. It's like people, to me, and I've never done this, but I'm thinking it's like reading tea leaves. All you're doing is looking at a shape, and you get, it's hard to explain. It's like a memory comes through or something, and you just get it.
Okay. It's like focusing. You just focus,
And the kind of cards I use don't have, they're called fractals. It's just a mishmash of color. If I use my Archangel Michael cards, there's a picture of an angel and in a situation with a prayer at the bottom. And for my puny little male mind, it's too busy. I just look at the card and I look at the pictures, and because I'm relatively that art side of my brain. Yeah. So this is where I'm going to go.
Well,
so I'm going to drop you 7 cards down.
All right.
Because that's what I always do. For some reason now, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but the very first time I went to read cards for somebody, I said, because a friend of mine used to always read 5 cards. So I thought to myself, well, I'm going to put 5 cards down. So I put them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I went, what the heck? Like in my head, I said 5. And my motor, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? So I've always done the 7 cards now.
Yeah.
So I've laid out a spread, and it's just a straight left to right, as you were, right to left, because I think I read my cards like you read Arabic. I read them from right to left instead of left to right, which is a whole other weird thing. I don't know why I do.
Yeah. I think you're dyslexic. Maybe that's it.
Oh, my dog. Really?
I don't know.
No, I am. I am a little bit dyslexic. Yeah.
Okay.
And that
when
came
I'm
through.
stressed out, everything comes out backwards. I start right. I look at the numbers. I look at the words, and I've got them all mixed up. So I must be too.
Oh, imagine being a policeman pulling up behind somebody on the highway and reading their license plate.
I know.
And
that's bad.
And then the dispatcher says, James, that car doesn't exist. And I get all upset saying, I'm looking right at it. Don't tell me it doesn't exist. And then they say, calm down. Read it again. Oh, sorry, ma'am. It's really...
Right.
Yeah, I was really bad at that. I used to have to actually write it down on a piece of paper before I said it on the radio, which can be lots of fun if you're going at a high speed somewhere.
Well, then you've got to... Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. You get spanked for that. Okay.
I never had to go in a high speed.
No? Oh, you should try it. It's no, you shouldn't. It makes you pee. I've driven at 120 miles an hour for I think 20 minutes. Not chasing somebody, but going somewhere on highways. And the lamps on the side of the highway are going by like a picket fence. And it's funny, after the first couple of minutes, everything slows down. Everything slows down. And you don't think you're going that fast. It dawns on you when you see where you're going, or like the turn you're supposed to take, and you start to slow down. And because everything's slowed down around you, you start slowing down like you're going at a slower speed. And then you realize, I'm not going to make this turn. And you end up having to go past it, turn around, and come back.
Do you think that's why people get in accidents like that? They don't realize it? I mean, I've never heard of that.
No, it's
down. Is that just you?
No, that's like guys like the Indy 500 and stuff like that. They're going at such high speeds. You wonder how they can go in and amongst themselves, like bumper to bumper at those high speeds. Yeah. It actually, the perception is because everyone's going that fast, and you're only paying attention to the other cars around you and the road.
Right.
It's, if you focused on the crowd, it would be just a blur, and that's when you get the speed. But other than that, you're just moving. It's kind of an interesting illusion.
It's really,
like being in a small plane going through clouds. You don't think you're going fast until you kind of break down through the clouds and you realize, holy crap, we just went through those pretty quick. Okay, I've got to focus, or else I'll be reading your laundry dry cleaning information instead of this. So I grounded myself. And just so people know what I do is I imagine white light coming through the top of my head, the crown chakra, going down the sides of my chakras on the left, kind of spinning each chakra clockwise. And then I store that white, bright light energy in them. And I do that a couple of times, and then I exhale them down through my feet, down, pushing to the center of the earth, and then inhaling it back up on the right side of those chakras and spin them around clockwise. At which point, in my mind, I ask that ask my guide to assure, and my guide's Matthew, to assure that the information that I'm getting for Sharon is only of the purest good and information that is relevant to her life and for her own highest good in moving on to her life. It's kind of hard to explain. I do it very quick. It's not really a prayer. Well, some people call it a prayer. I call it a meditation. Semantics, or even semantics. So I'm starting off the card on the far right. It's to describe it, it's just kind of a blurry pink thing. Do you have a cat?
I did.
Okay.
She was just killed.
Yeah, your cat's there. You've got to know that your cat is... What was your cat's name?
Star.
Okay, Star's around, and Star's always going to be around. Pay attention to... And I always say this to people, but in this case, it was a she cat or a guy cat?
Yeah.
It's a she. I guess Star would be a girl's name. She's with you, and she's actually still occupying all the spaces she used to occupy. Like if she was on the foot of your bed, that's where she is. You'll feel her sometimes. You'll know when she's around. She wants you to talk to her.
Felt that.
Yeah, talk to her.
Okay.
Okay, like you used to?
Yeah.
You call her silly cat and stuff like that? Or you silly thing. What are you doing? You can still do that.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I've lost a lot of animals in my life, but I've literally when I close my eyes, I've seen her. She's like laying right next to my head.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's protecting me, I bet.
Well, no, it's the other way around.
No?
You're protecting her. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's comfortable and she feels safe there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of cool, because I usually get the animal card the first or the second one.
It is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, energy-wise, you're still scattered and all over the place. You need to focus more on... what I'm getting is that you're trying to focus. You're trying to kind of find your own energy. You're trying to come into yourself, and it's almost like you're trying to learn how to do this.
Right.
All right. And you're getting it, and then it completely goes sideways. It's like it breaks and shatters.
Yep.
So you've got to continue to focus. What you're getting, something's affecting your focus, and it's breaking your concentration, and then you get mad at yourself. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Don't break your concentration. Whatever's interfering with your concentration, breathe through it. I don't know what it is, whether there's like a phone rings or something, whatever. That you obviously have to get, but you have to breathe through it. Just breathe through that, and you'll find over time, it may take a couple of days or nights or whenever you do this, you're going to find that it's going to help. And you'll, baby steps, you will not be breaking your concentration. With that broken concentration, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. Like it's like, too bad you can't see my hands. I'm doing this reaching thing. It's like you're reaching for something, and just about there, the stool starts to tip, and you get scared and you flop back down. Don't worry about it. Just keep.
Yeah, I get it.
Go get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you get closer to doing this, and I mean pulling in the energy, you still have a lot of other energies around you that are standing around waving at you. Does that make any sense? Okay. You've got, once you get focused, there's almost like a lineup of energy wanting to come to you, but they can't get through right now. And when I say they, I don't mean, well, I guess I do mean other, like spirit energy or something like that, but it's not that simple. It could be your guides. Yeah, it's what it is. Your guides are trying to get a hold of you, but they can't. You're not reaching high enough. Oh, that's what that meant. The last card in the focus.
Yeah.
They're wanting you to focus. Without that, you aren't going to be able to channel your angel and your guides. Mm-hmm. Not channel. That's a bad word.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear. You're not going to be able to hear them.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for you to get your poop together and connect.
Well, I keep getting sabotaged, and that's the hard thing, is to try to ignore the sabotage.
The sabotage, a lot of that is perception on your part.
Mm.
Because everything to do with this is all on your own. This is sitting in the car all by yourself somewhere, sitting on a park bench, locked in the bathroom, in the bathtub, and it's all in your mind and breathing. It's breathing and relaxing. And that's all it is. It's meditation. So you could do it.
Yeah.
If you think you're getting sabotaged, go to church. Go sit in the back of the pew, and people think you're praying, and all you're doing is meditating, which is good enough.
Right.
Same thing. And you just open up. And if you can do that, all that is opening that channel, and the channel becomes easier to open.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a straight line.
You're definitely right.
Yeah, I'm getting a straight line from this. Like right now, the card that I pulled is, I can almost describe it as tartan. It's like lines going up and down and back and forth, with a whole bunch of different colors, greens and purples and reds. But what I get from that, when I first flipped it, it was like, yeah, you've got stuff crossing and coming. You've got stuff coming to you. You just can't receive it. Like you're playing receiver on a football team with two oven mitts and a blindfold right now. You have no idea until the ball bounced off your head that it was even thrown your way. So it's just focus. And speaking of focus, I pulled another card. This one is kind of hard to explain. It's like a star shape, but it in the middle is the pink, a kind of a pink. Okay, this when you're in bed, do this in bed. You're focusing. First of all, acknowledge your cat. Star is there. Acknowledge that in your mind. And focus on breathing and breathing in really good energy and surrounding both yourself and your cat with it. All right? When you do that, that star is going to be your focus point. Because literally, this is a picture of a star. The center of this star is exactly the same color as the card that I first picked, which was your cat, telling you, hey, I'm here. It's okay. Please talk to me. This is so use your past cat for a focus point when you're meditating. Okay? Imagine her on if you're sitting comfortably, imagine her on your lap. If you're laying down, imagine her beside you or at your feet or something. But focus on that. Use that energy that she has around and draw through, breathe through the top of your head, deep breath in through your nose, your mouth very gently open, not your jaw not locked or anything, and exhale. And as you exhale, that is just energy. And then imagine yourself literally reaching higher and higher as you're breathing more of that light in. But focus, and use, I've never had that before, use your pussycat for a focus. My next card looks like a cross between a broken flower and the Rolling Stone's lips. That's kind of hard to explain, but what I'm getting from this is actually a split in your emotions. You've got a split down the middle, and this is actually, if you're not feeling it right now, it's going to be coming, and it's just a heads up that there'll be an emotional break. And when I mean an emotional break, it's almost like a pause. There'll be something, you'll be very emotional about something in a loving way. There's going to be a pause. And as far as time of the pause goes, it looks like 1 or 2 days. And then it all comes back again. So what they're basically saying is, it's coming. Do not freak out on the pause. Don't let the pause affect how you think. Don't overthink. Yeah, don't overthink the pause. This is a family member, and it's not a fight. It's just you're not going to have an argument. It's more of it's not verbal. It's an emotional break from this person. It's you doing it. It's not them doing it. They may have done something which affects you. You're going to drop down, and you're going to give your head a shake a day or two later and go, "Oh, I'm okay," and you come back up again. But they're trying to tell me that, or they are telling me to tell you that this emotional break isn't a bad thing. It's just a break. It happens. Make any sense?
That's just so weird. I mean, so it's an emotional break from a family member, but you said it's not an argument? I mean,
no, it's nonverbal. Somebody, either you or the other person, will do something, and believe it or not, this one time you're going to keep your mouth shut, Sharon. You're not going to say anything. You're going to take it, and it's going to affect you. It's going to drop your energy for about a day or two. And then you're just going to wake up
all the time.
Okay. Well,
believe it or not, James,
it's happening again.
A lot of times I keep my mouth shut. Believe it or not.
Try it. Maybe this one may be completely different than all the other ones you go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. This is like 3 weeks away. So,
it's not a death or anything, though.
I've never had that. I don't get things like that. And if I did, I wouldn't know what it would come as. Yeah. No, this is an emotional. The other person does something which drops your emotions down really low.
Right.
For 2 days. And if you were to stay in that rut and keep chewing on it and thinking about it, it's going to be really unhealthy. So this is kind of why they're saying, just realize that it's all going to be okay. Get your head back out of the well, kind of thing, and move on. It's it'd be interesting. Let me know if whatever happens. Have you've been asking for something, right? You've been praying for something of value,
right?
Yeah. It's keep going. It's there. You've been asking for something of value to you. It may not be money, anything like that. It's whatever is of value to your heart. They've heard it, and it's coming. But don't give up. Don't think that they totally have ignored you. It's just not the right time to get what you're asking for yet. So basically, what I see is almost like you don't have to ask for it every day. Yeah, don't keep. You don't have to ask for it every day. They got the message.
Right. Right.
But don't think they didn't get the message. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Don't think that they didn't get the message. Yeah, they got the message.
Have a little more faith.
Yeah. You've got lots of faith, but don't think they didn't get the message or that they're ignoring you. Because they're not. You just aren't in the space where you will receive what you asked for yet.
Okay.
Some people you don't want to ask for a Ferrari because you need transportation. You may end up all of a sudden the city puts a new bus route on your road. And you're complaining that you didn't get a Ferrari. Oh, I kept I kept praying and I kept meditating for a Ferrari. And hey, but look, the city put a bus stop in front of my house.
Yeah,
take what they give you. It's it's not. We all don't get Ferraris,
no,
young lady. Again, I got the last card. You will get this whole energy thing. It's going to work. It's taken a long time. Your focus is going to get better, and you will be receiving a lot of pretty positive energy. It's just, it has taken a while, and it's still going to take a while. You have fires you have to put out. Fires you have to put out. What?
Shit.
You have fires you have to put out. These are old fires. These are not new fires. There's no new challenges coming. All your challenges have happened in the past, and you've got to basically push them off your plate. You're carrying them forward, and the more you carry them forward, the more they're screwing you up. It's like dragging weights. Every time you hit one of these challenges, it's a 40-pound plate from the gym. You've wrapped the rope around your belly and you're dragging it. Now you've got you've got a bunch of them you're dragging and you can't move. You just have to cut the rope and walk away.
I can't seem to get them settled, fixed, done.
Yeah, well, you just have to. A lot of them weren't that heavy when you first got them. You've made them heavy. Does that make any sense?
No.
Okay.
It's just they've worn me down, and I don't have the resources I used to have, so they're harder for me now.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to take this and even just write it down. Think about this. Some of them that you've been dragging for a long time were small when they started, and you've made them really big. And I want you to go back and think about some of these things you've been dragging, or some of these challenges you've run into, or some of these things that you...
Yeah.
And imagine it being right at the very first instance and what you may have then piled up on top of it, as opposed to just getting rid of it really quick. That might be the issue.
And I think I understand what you were trying to say before, too, because when I think about it that way, there's a lot of, I've put a lot of resentment and anger and all of those things on top of those issues.
Yeah.
That makes them even heavier, that makes them harder to deal with. So if I do with what you're saying, that makes me think, okay, just take this factual, get rid of all the emotional garbage.
Yeah.
That's around it.
That makes sense. And
easier.
But that's what I'm seeing is that this is going to continue until it's a challenge, but you've got to go backwards, look at everything that you're dragging and cut the ropes and let it go. So pick the ones that you can actually cut out of your life and let them go. So if I take a step back and I look at this, if that was me, and it is me in a lot of sense, I went through mine and just, if I had no control over it, I either passed it on to somebody who did have control over it, or I walked away from it. And, basically washed my hands of it and walked
away. You were able to walk away. I feel like I'm not able to walk away because I have nothing to walk to.
That's probably the, hold on a second here. You've piled up and this is figuratively, you've piled up a whole bunch of stuff around you, and you've kind of fortified yourself inside. Right? So you think that you can't leave the fort safely.
Right.
You can. The hard part is leaving. It's like people who are hoarders. If you're hoarding things, you think, well, I can't leave all this stuff. This is all mine. This is very important. Well, when you look at it from the outside, you look at those people going, no, that's that newspaper from 1978. No, not that important. No, but it's mine. I've psychologically, you've made it very important, but it isn't. You need almost somebody from the outside to come in and say, this needs to be cut out and move on. So when you say you can't move forward, you can. You've already just built the walls up. Look at a picture of the Earth from outer space and how small it is, but there's there's numerous places to go. Make it big again. Do you have to live where you're living? Can you exist 100 miles from there, 1,000 miles from there, in a single wide trailer in Florida? Who knows? It's what you've done is you've built the wall, and it's comfortable.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
No, it's psychologically it's comfortable. It's your nest, and you know where everything is, and it's hard. I've moved away from the reading now. Now I'm just giving you a lecture.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that mean anything to you, that reading at all?
Yeah, sure. It did. Thank you.
Okay.
I like the idea of, taking a look at each thing and the same advice, which I've been trying to do, is stay focused, not get...
Yeah,
it's hard to.
Focusing on a cat. Focusing on your cat, that was really weird. When I look back at this and going, okay, your cat came through and you're focusing on your cat. That was kind of crazy. But,
yeah. Well, what's funny is you brought up the third card was a star. And it had the pink in it.
That was the sixth card, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you were thinking that was referencing my cat, to focus on my cat.
Yeah.
But see, when I heard your description, I thought of my mom, because from the time I was a little girl, like when her mother died, she always taught me to look for her star. And any family member that would die, we would look for their star, and pink reminds me of my mother. So when you said that to me, that's what I thought right away was my mom, So it's just kind of funny sometimes, When you get information, you don't know what it means. Sometimes the other person does know what it means. And that happens with my priest a lot. He'll see things and he has no clue what he's seeing. But as soon as he tells me, I know exactly what it is. I know the message God's giving me, even if my priest doesn't. So.
Oh, very cool. I'm going to give Mary a call back. Stand by.
Okay.
It's been 45 minutes. Maybe she's around.
Yeah.
One ringy dingy. Two ringy dingy.
Hi, this is Mary. I'm not available. Please leave your name and your number, and I'll call you as soon as I can. Bye-bye.
That's too bad.
That's really unfortunate because
yeah, she's
really
good. I mean, she was on my other Facebook post. She was a friend, and I didn't reach out to her, but she reached out to me when my grandson was so seriously sick, life-threatening disease, and she sent me a message out of nowhere that she sees him healthy and happy and playing, and I thought that was very nice of her, which he is now. So that's really good. But I've never talked to her myself. But yeah, it's just I knew that you could do this, and because the other day when you were in class, I believe, you were picking up all these things in your class, and then, when I was talking to, I don't know if it was Joanna, or no, it was Mary Ellen.
Okay.
Remember, I was talking to Mary Ellen, and she said, "Oh, James, that's what you were getting about the medical issues and the legal." That was for her.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that was?
I don't, because...
it comes and goes. Yeah. Once you get it, it's gone.
Yeah, okay. I've got... I just got notified I should be over on the... bouncing back and forth here in the chat. Okay, I've got some questions coming up on the other chat
Okay, you
room
want me to let you go? Huh?
Yeah, I do. I will.
You want me to hang out? Okay.
Oh,
you want me to I'll let you go.
No, you can hang out if you want. It's okay.
Okay.
I've got.
Right.
I've got to make another call here to. I've got to find this number. Gosh darn it! There it is. Add to group call. I really hope this is the right number, or I'm waking somebody up at 10:48 on a Sunday night. Which, this is Mary. I'm not available right now. Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello, who's this?
This is Amanda.
Oh, good. I got the right number. Holy cow, woman. Sorry. I'm thinking, okay, I think it's the number, but we'll see. It's a magic number.
Nope.
Let's see who answers.
Well, there you go. It's the psychic number. You're psychic. You got the right number.
I'm a psychopath. I can read your mind. So you asked a question in the chat room. You asked me...
Yeah.
What was it? When I decided to start reading cards?
Yeah. I
didn't decide. It was kind of I went to a psychic back in 2012, like out of the blue. It was a little odd because, psychics, I don't know anything about them. So I bounced down, got a really good reading. My mom came through the whole bit. My listener has heard this story 1,000 times before. But at the end of it, the psychic looked at me and said, the spirit medium said, you could do this. I'm looking at her going, do what? And then she explained what an empath was. And she said, no, you could read cards. So, yeah, okay, lady, sure. I was blown away by the original reading, but this was going a little bit above and beyond what was going on. So
they'll tell you because they know, right?
Yeah, because my guide, I guess, told her that, and so off I go. And a while later, I had, and I'm kind of stammering here because I'm still reading chat rooms, but I'm going to shut my eyes and continue my conversation. About a couple of months later, I ended up buying because she told me that the Archangel Michael was really high in me, and another Archangel Heniel, and it kind of resonated a bit. So I saw some Oracle cards. Now I picked Oracle cards because there's only 44 of them, and I don't have to worry about a reversed 5 of cups sideways with a flying chicken. I can just look at it and go, oh, it's Oracle cards. Okay, no big deal. So I picked these Archangel Michael, and they have a prayer on it and a picture of an angel with all sorts of stuff. And I found out later that I really can't read them because I get too focused on the picture. And when I focus on the picture,
you can read them.
No, bear with me. I focus too much on the picture. So what I found is one of the ladies who was showing me how to read cards, Karen Fallman, who is our medium on Spaced Out Radio, at spaceoutradio.com. She had a set of cards that had fractals. Now, just those blobby color things. And those, I used those and I went, oh, now I know what you mean when you say, what do I see? Because what I was seeing was what I was getting in. Like, the information was coming through, which I wasn't immediately picking up with the Archangel cards because I'm a lazy bastard. And I was too focused on the pictures. So now I'll use the Archangel cards. If you had a question, if you had one specific question, I'll pull one or two cards. I'll flip them over, and it's sometimes a struggle for me to see how the card relates to the answer of the question. But it's still baby steps. I'm still learning. I'll have to read the prayer at the bottom over a couple of times, and I go, oh, okay.
Yep.
And then it makes sense. So I just use those cards for questions. And the Oracle cards I've been using are pretty good. And that's why I've been going to Paisley's course, because she's teaching me how to listen to the questions and determine what maybe the real question would be. Also, it all comes down with confidence. It's working on my confidence and finally understanding the information that I'm getting. And there are times where
trusting your own gut as well. It's trusting your own gut as well. You have to trust yourself, and that's one of the tough parts, right?
Well, it is. It is kind of, and not only trust myself, but it's kind of it is kind of weird that way. It's and it's coming quicker. I can, and I have done it. I've actually stood beside somebody and looked at them and done what in all intents and purposes would be a full reading.
Yeah.
And it bothers me because I want to have some control, and it's actually that kind of control, I guess, will come, but it's like I'm not having control of the information that's coming in, which is kind of awkward. But that's when I started. So I started around the end of 2012, early 2013. I carried them with me when I travel, and when I took my motorcycle down the Oregon coast, and then when I went through Montana and stuff this summer, and I'll just meet somebody and look at them and say, this is kind of weird, but I'm supposed to read cards for you. And every one of them says to me that they've either had them done once or twice, or they've wanted to have that done. Also, every one of them are empaths that didn't know they were empaths.
Very interesting right there.
So how are you?
See, you can trust yourself. I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm doing really great.
How's your ghost?
I'm looking forward to the thinning of the veil and see what interesting things could or could not happen. I'm suspecting nothing will happen because I don't want anything to happen. Not at my work, at least. I don't want anything to happen there. So
you're no fun for a Halloween person.
No. I think for people that might be kind of more newly started to their awakenings, as I'm going to refer it to as, I think it's pretty dangerous territory to mess around with the veil being a little bit thinner. If you don't know what you're really doing and you don't understand the things you're feeling, I think it can be quite dangerous for you and the person on the other side. So tomorrow I'm going to carry around my protection stones like I usually do at work, and just focus on myself and Halloween candy. And then a couple days after, I'll go back to what I'm working on right now when things are a little bit more settled in the other realms, and go from there. But yeah.
So you're not going to hide in the house.
I'm not going to. I do have to work tomorrow. To work tomorrow, so I will be at work where there are some spirits.
Yeah.
In fact, there's 3 or 4 now that I've come to meet. Not see, but I know they're there. One showed up in a whole different area of the building the other day, so I'm waiting to see what the 2nd and 3rd floor brings me now. But
Amanda, just for the listener, kind of explain the type of building you work in and the type of work that you're involved in?
So I'm an empath myself, as you know. I work in supported housing with people with mental health and addiction. So I'm one of the support workers there. It's permanent housing. The building that I work in is on a rock, a big rock, by the largest river in North America, and has quite a rich history. There was the Great Fire that happened in the area that I work in, and it used to be a nightclub at some point as well that did have housing upstairs as well. And
a murder.
Actually also
a couple of murders.
And there's been some murders there. There's been some overdoses. There's been just getting old and sick. There's been a lot of death in that building. I don't know how old the building is, but I know it's one of the older buildings in that area. So there's a lot that goes on there. There's quite a bit of history in that place. I think the things I felt in there are kind of more in the last 15, 20 years. There might be one lingering from a very long time ago, but I'm not 100% on that yet. I haven't quite got the feel of the latest one that I felt. I can't even tell if it's male or female yet.
Oh, wow.
So I think I'll figure it out in time, because I think I'm meant to actually figure it out.
Or if it grabs you or something.
Well, I did get pushed.
Oh.
I did get a shove downstairs. Yeah, I got a pretty good shove from behind and turned around and told it where to go and said not to touch me again. And nothing's touched me, but you can feel it in certain parts of the building. You know somebody else is there and you're not alone. And ironically, one of my coworkers saw a shadow pass her by in the exact same spot that I was pushed. And there's been other people that have worked there that have said that they felt things. And some people haven't felt anything. But I think it depends on your energy, and I think it also believes on your belief system as well. So, some people refuse to believe, and they could have a spirit right in front of them, but if they refuse to believe it and aren't open, then they're just not going to know it's there. So,
wow. Yeah, that area is uber haunted. It was kind of like when we were down in Concrete, Washington, again, built on quartz crystal with two rivers and a hydroelectric dam. Like, if you were a ghost, you would hop on the bus and actually go there. That's the kind of place that ghosts would like to be. And it's funny, you've got UFO sightings all the time, and the BigFoot sightings. So if it's... Which, from my conversation yesterday with Joanna through her guide Rob, now I know why we have the UFO and BigFoot sightings in the same areas. Because that's their transportation. They get dropped off and picked up. So that's kind of cool. Did you listen to the show last night, Amanda?
No, I actually didn't get the chance to, because I was working on that thing that I'm working on.
Oh.
And I was having quite the experiences last night.
Okay.
So I didn't really want to pull myself out of what I was working on.
Cool. You're fired. You had to listen to it.
I'm not,
if you get a chance...
If you want me to talk about what I'm working on, it doesn't bother me any. If people want to know a little bit more about it, if they're curious as to what it's like.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm doing energy healing. I'm actually doing it... I don't want to say the person's name because they don't want to put themselves out there yet. But they're very, 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 very good at what they do. And I feel within probably 4 or 5 days... feel very safe with this person. So it started out as just trying to picture white light going into my heart and breathing directly into my heart. And the first little while, like the first few minutes, didn't really feel anything. I felt kind of awkward. Since then, I've continued to do it. Sometimes I can't feel a white light going into my heart. But I try to think of universal love or something that makes me happy, like puppies or kittens or, unicorns, whatever. And it'll bring something, it feels like a white light that goes into my heart. But since I've started it, an ET has visited me, and I didn't believe in ETs. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of the show talks about it. I was not a believer in UFOs and ETs, but one showed up in my left eye and was staring me right down and freaked me out. I was on the phone with my energy healer, and he's just like, clink a glass to it. Just welcome it. This is what's going to happen to you now. Seen a lot of colors and feelings with the colors. I've retracted back to childhood memories. In fact, earlier today when I was doing my breathing, I became a kidney bean in my mother's stomach. I went back that far.
Oh my goodness!
Went to some I'd say tweeny stages, and then things I even remember a very specific photograph on what I was wearing, and I don't even have those photos anymore. And I've had weird sensations, like I was training into work one day and I was doing some breathing on it, and I felt like I was on a train going into one of the concentration camps. So I wonder if I had a past life there. I've also felt like maybe a woman in the 1940s on a train in England, which was also kind of strange because that's around the same time frame as the rest of that stuff. But lots of weird sensations. Sleep has been normal. I don't remember my dreams, but during breathing, quite a lot can happen. The other thing is you do get emotional. I've bawled hysterically out of nowhere and then laughed hysterically the next minute. But the one thing I've noticed in the 2.5 weeks or so that I've been doing this, and I do put time into it every day, is I'm way less negative than I used to be. And I'm also realizing what a lot of my feelings boil down to. So my energy healer was like, okay, when you feel angry, just breathe into your anger. Don't think about what's making you angry. Just pet it like a cat. And so I do that, and then my anger turns to sadness, then it turns to fear, then it turns to all these things that you didn't expect is the root of the problem. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting dynamic as well. There's a lot that's going on every single day. But when it starts to get funky, I don't want it to end. Like, I'll keep breathing until I really can't do much more. And then I just go drink a couple of glasses of water and grab a cookie and back to my normal day-to-day stuff. But it's,
okay. That you just have one more thing you got to do.
What's that?
And Sharon, are you here? Sharon?
Yeah, and I'm here.
Okay, both of you sit down.
I muted myself. Okay.
Both of you sit down. Put your hands on your lap.
Sitting.
You both have to quit smoking.
Oh, God.
It's probably, Amanda, it's that whole, I think I was in a concentration camp. Yeah, well, cigarettes have cyanhydric acid in it with cyanide. It's what they use in the gas chambers, along with everything else, solvents and
rat poison, sugar.
Yeah. Anyway, both of you, that is, no matter what you do and drinking water and all those other cool things, it's just one of those things. You are inhaling a burning plant along with all the bits of pieces of plastic it's been hanging on. If either of you thought about going to, and I hate these people, but I love you guys, vaping.
No, won't go to vaping.
No?
Definitely will not become a vapor. Absolutely, positively not. 101 different reasons. It's to me, it's no better than smoking a cigarette. What I do plan on doing is actually going for laser therapy. There's a place that several of my friends have gone to, and they've been able to quit smoking a lot easier than any other form that they've ever done. So I've heard good things about one specific place and one specific person, and once the money's saved, I'll definitely be very open to. But it's funny because my energy healer thinks I'm going to quit smoking in time, and my spirit guide is all over me about quitting smoking. She nags at me constantly. So,
because she doesn't want to see you on the other side as quickly as
No, she says I have a lot more purpose than people have given me credit for. So.
Oh, and we never give you credit
credit know that.
anyway. Oh, really?
What's
that?
Go ahead, Sharon.
James, I got to tell you that all night tonight, I've talked to my daughter about it. I've been praying about it. I actually went several hours without smoking. I thought about the vape thing. I think I just need to quit, period. And
yes.
I've done it before. I did it once before, and I just, I had to ask God to help me because I told him, I'm going to kill my kids. That's what I said. That's what I told him. Because of the withdrawals and how crazy I would get. And when I did quit, I went through the withdrawals, but I didn't feel any of them. I mean, you could see my hands shake and sweat and all that, but I was as calm as I could be. So it's not God's fault that I went back to it. And when I did go back to it, I almost literally forced myself to smoke. That just tells you about the
addiction. Yeah.
Yeah, not the self-degradation. You know, it's like a self-hate thing. I started smoking because my aunt died of smoking, and I was pissed at her, and I decided I would smoke just to spite her, which is stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
But you showed her.
Yeah, didn't I, though? Jeez.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Funny that you bring up.
My mom was a smoker and died of cancer, but that was the age. You know, she was a teenager in the 40s, and you know, everybody smoked. That was kind of what you did.
Well, yeah. You listen, our government, my dad, they used to send, you know, cartons of cigarettes over to the soldiers all the time.
Yeah.
You know, for free. You know.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And that's they had a few addictive properties back then. Now it's just one addictive property, like one pile of addiction. You can actually buy tobacco primarily on the Indian reservations that is organic.
Right.
And, you know, I know people who smoke that, and they smoke it in a pipe. And they claim it, well, it's, you know, I'm smoking organic. And I look at them and say, you still are inhaling a burning plant. Pretty sure we're not made to do that. Oh, and somebody...
you know, they have some, like the American Spirit cigarettes that are organic. You know, that's what I'm going to buy.
Yeah, American Spirit is what I buy to do my gifts. I do a gift when I go onto Indian reservation or Indian reserve.
Right.
If I meet an elder, I mix organic tobacco, sage, sweetgrass. I shave Palo Santo wood, and I put it. I kind of meditate on it. I wrap it up in a cloth, and I give it as a gift. And it's to be used for like burning or smudging or just cleaning a room.
Well,
but it smells really good.
I will send you my address because that sounds good. My house needs cleansing, so you can send that to me as a gift.
Oh, I could. Next time I'm down a reserve and reservation in the United States, I'll get you some.
Okay.
You could also give tobacco to a cedar tree and ask the creator to help you to stop smoking. Anytime you offer tobacco to a cedar tree and you pray to the creator, it's always heard.
You know, the cedar tree is something that people overlook. We have a fort out here on the West Coast that was built by the Hudson's Bay Company back in the day. You know what I just realized? We missed the break at the top of the hour. Crap. Okay, don't tell Dave. Not that this has been a really store. This is not the regular regular show, but crap, I missed that break. The cedar tree and Fort Langley. Fort Langley built 1800s, early 1800s by the Hudson's Bay Company exploring out here into the fur trade, and they went as far south down as the Columbia River on the west coast here, and they had another fort down there, settlement, and they did all the trapping and interacted with the First Nations along the coast, and were killed by a lovely group down actually by the Columbia River too. It was a bit of a argument. It was a clan or a family didn't like the Scottish people traipsing through their area, so they killed half a dozen of them. That wouldn't have been a battle. That's just old school murders, or land arguments, and that's how they were settled back then. But the old fort itself is haunted. It's on the third location. It had been moved due to floods and burning down and all the other reasons forts would have moved back in the day. and also not that they were worried about the First Nations or the Indians up here, because they got along with everybody. But the fort itself is haunted. So getting back to the cedar, they had somebody come through, and a lot of the spirits that are haunting the fort were in specific buildings. And the shaman, or the person they had come and cleared them, and says, well, you need them to be able to move in and out of the building. They're stuck in the building. They don't want to leave the building. Something's holding them back. And what they did is took a cedar bough and put it over the doors of each of the buildings. And the frustrated energy that you'd feel in these buildings disappeared. And 2 years ago, one of them, there was a replica of an old house. And you can come into this fort, and they have small tents that'll sleep 6 people, and a great big fire pit and bathrooms and stuff. And for X amount a night, you can actually sleep in the tent overnight, or sleep in the fort overnight. They shut the doors at 5 p.m., and I think you're locked in there until 10 o'clock the next morning. And you've got run of the fort, but you can't get into any of the buildings. But you've got the whole grounds to hang out on and look for ghosts and things and swat mosquitoes. But there was a group of kids, and they were looking in a window, and they could see a little girl crying in the corner. And they called their parents over, and they said, there's a little girl stuck in here. We've got to get a hold of somebody. They've got to get her out. And the parents went and banging on the window, and the little girl, she'd look up and then put her head down between her legs and kind of curl up and start crying again. And the parents were on their cell phones and got the caretakers coming over, and they'd open it up, and there was no little kid in there. But what had happened, the cedar branch had dried and fallen down that day. And I guess the kid went in there and couldn't get out, and she was trapped. So they they opened the door, and they kind of smudged her out, which is an odd way of saying it, but they pushed her out and got her back out in the ground area.
It does work.
Oh, yeah.
You can also boil, if you go and pick cedar for tobacco to the tree that you pick the cedar from, you can, if you boil it all day, literally all day, and then you hang pieces of it in your windows and your doors and until they dry out, then you have to go outside and burn them. But that really cleanses the home. Really, really cleanses the home, and it smells amazing. You can't, however, if you do ever do that, if anybody is listening decides to do that, do not reuse that pot that you boil them in for anything else. It should only be for boiling the cedar. But it's extremely cleansing, and anything that's negative in your home will go. Cedar is really good for negative energy.
Yeah. That's what you need, Sharon. You need some cedar. Never mind.
Sorry, I still had you on mute. Yeah, I don't know where, cedar. I don't know if it was an excuse or what, but someone told me once that my smoking addiction probably is related to the fact that I'm Indian, and that's sacred.
It's one of those weird things that the First Nations or the Indian people, even where I am, smoke, and it's something that's always been around them as children. And my friends who grew up on reserves are like that too. And they say, well, this is a tradition for us. And I said, you're on the west coast of Canada. How far does the tradition of tobacco go back? And they kind of look at me and go, I don't know. Because they probably didn't have a lot of tobacco on the west coast, on the other side of these mountains, until the 1800s.
Back in those days, Indians did not chain smoke. It was more of a ceremonial or, once in a while thing. They don't smoke they didn't smoke like we do now. And they didn't have all these additives chemicals either.
Yep, it's an odd thing, but honestly, with the taxes they have on cigarettes and things, they're so expensive. Unless you're on a reserve or a reservation out here, you don't have to pay tax on them.
Yeah, out here they're like $25 a carton. on the reservation.
Yeah,
but I can't.
I think they retail here for a 70 or something.
Oh no, way more than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but 100.
My daughter's in New York. They do not even sell cartons there because nobody can afford them. And a pack of cigarettes is like $15.
Yeah, what's a pack here, Amanda?
Really, you're going to do this to me?
Oh, you don't know?
I have a feeling my spirit guide's about to give me crap right now. No, about $10.50 for the cheapest and $14.15 for, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of counterfeit here, too. We get a lot from China.
Sorry, she's laughing at me.
When I was working for Organized Crime Agency, we get a lot coming in from China that are counterfeited and, have a cigarette with some bad tobacco and rat droppings.
Exactly.
And we get a lot from the Indian reserves in southern Ontario and southern Quebec. And they're shipped out all over the place, too. Or just raw tobacco. They'll bring in raw tobacco to the reserves, and that'll get pumped out all over it's primarily on the East Coast thing because they smoke more than we do here. Our smoking dropped down at one point to about 12% of the population, and it's starting to go back up with the influx of new Canadians coming in from the Orient, where it's still cool to smoke. So we were doing quite well. We were actually really dropping, and all of a sudden, about the late 80s pumped it back up to, into about 14-15% again. Quebec is still the big smoking part of Canada because it's cool if you're French.
So, James?
Yes, dear.
Are you going to do another reading for somebody? Does somebody want to call in and get another reading from you?
I don't know. Sharon, what do you think? Am I reading okay?
Oh, absolutely. I think you should.
All righty. Who wants a reading?
Come on, somebody's got to call in.
Yes.
Put James on the spot.
Okay, I'm going to take this break that we didn't have, so at least I can say I did it. This is the 7-minute stretch. 7-minute stretch. So off you go. Grab something and come on back. And yes, Paisley, I see you there. Dommy, you can go to the bathroom. Andy, you can go to the bathroom. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on 2 mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. 2 mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for news beyond the mainstream news? Head to spacedoutradio.com and check out the SOR Spacewire. This is Spaced Out Radio's Eric Markham, News Director for the SOR Spacewire. Daily, I will bring you intriguing stories and outlandish reports from what's going on around the world. UFO sightings, paranormal activity, conspiracies, alternative health, and so much more. And if you have news, email me at news@spacedoutradio.com.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy. And I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Greetings and salutations, space travelers, from the Chronicles of the Unknown team.
What is Chronicles of the Unknown? I keep hearing about this thing.
It's a new paranormal reality TV show based right here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Follow our team as we uncover claims of activity on the Caribou Gold Rush Trail. You can also follow us here every third Monday, where 2 members of our team will be available to answer your questions. We'll give you some equipment updates and some of our experiences on the road, right here on Spaced Out Radio.
For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Patrolling the Pacific Northwest, we are always on the lookout for the strange and unassuming stories that real people are experiencing. Hi, I'm Vincent Zunza from Pacific North Weird. Me and Alexandra Sullivan have teamed to bring to you those odd stories that never seem to make it into the mainstream. Stories so weird that will leave you scratching your head wondering, is this real? It's as real as it gets with Pacific North Weird. You can watch our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Find yourself constantly looking up in the sky, looking for answers? Have you had extraterrestrial contact? Are you an abductee? Looking for answers to your experiences? Hi there, I'm R. Keith Andrews, Spaced Out Radio's resident ET expert. Join me live the first Friday of every month, where I take questions from the Spaced Out Radio chat room and help you understand those from the far-off world. It's 2 hours of knowledge every experiencer should listen to. Hope to see you there.
Hey everybody, this is Patrick Webster Small, and I'm here to bring you the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night, live at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for aliens and extraterrestrials, well, we've got them. Big and tall, short and small. You're bound to find what you're looking for. So join me on the Webster Phenomena right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Rivulet Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings, no matter where you are. It's time for you to make time for you.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Every month on Spaced Out Radio, we look into the deep and dark reports of cryptids roaming around the world with me, Rob Morphy from Cryptopia.us. I would love it if you would join me and host Dave Scott as we delve into the most arcane stories and reports regarding creatures of the unknown. My job is to hunt down the details and bring the evidence forward to you. These aren't your regular Bigfoot stories I'm talking about either. You can find out more about crypto history at spacedoutradio.com.
Tonight's edition of Spaced Out Weekend is brought to you by spacedoutradio.com, where you can now sign up to become a Space Traveler member. Now, for the final time tonight, here's Spaced Out Weekend's James Tyson.
Welcome back, everybody. It is me, James, just like Dave said. And unfortunately, Dr. Mary Barrett isn't on tonight, and I'm wondering if she thought it was going to be 10 p.m. to 12 her time in Tennessee. And she just gave up on me and turned her phone off. Or she was having some phone issues this morning, and she had AT&T out, and they were hoping to get everything strung up back on the nailed to the trees in her neighborhood. So maybe that is an issue. But we will get her back on some other time, maybe next week. Maybe I'll bring her on Saturday next week. She's got a spot there. And tonight I have on my denims and some green socks that I got at Costco, along with my Vans jeans and a lovely cotton shirt. Sorry. And I'm just going to give you a heads up. There may be some noise in the background because being Canadian and being from an Anglo background, back a long time ago in England, a guy tried to blow up Parliament. And, he was a terrorist back in the day. He didn't like the Parliament, a guy named Guy Fawkes. And they packed a bunch of dynamite underneath it, but they were foiled. So Guy Fawkes Day was near the end of October, and it's kind of connected to Halloween now. So on Halloween, we set off fireworks like we do on Canada Day, or what you would do on one of your national holidays. We all go out and we blow stuff up in the backyard, which is lots of fun. Or blow stuff up in your neighbor's garbage can. Again, lots of fun. And so we do that. So if they're not gunshots in the background, they're, M80s and whatever else, the guys go get them. So, so tomorrow night and this week, it's been keeping my dog in the house from doing his check of the fence line every night. But it's been a lot of fun. I like fireworks. I like things that blow up. Lisa Marie. I loved your dad. He was a wonderful singer, and we didn't ask Joanna about Elvis Presley, whether he was still alive or. Yeah. So you have called in because you allegedly want a reading from me.
If you want, you don't have to.
No, I do. You know what? I need the practice, and except Paisley's listening, and she's my teacher, and Dommy's listening, and she's actually in my class with me. So no pressure. And they're talking about bacon again. Gosh, what's
bacon?
Bacon.
Oh, bacon.
I had to straighten somebody out. They said they were talking about Canadian bacon. Canadian bacon is a term.
I like regular bacon better.
Canadian bacon is a term that Americans invented.
It's ham.
Yeah, no, it's back bacon. Okay. It's the bacon from the top of the back, not the side bacon.
I see.
All bacon's ham.
I actually...
Okay, you're right.
yelled the word bacon several times at a pig farm, and they all ran to the other side.
Guess who's not invited back to the pig farm anymore, Christopher?
But I wanted to see if they understood it. They did.
Yeah. You should have yelled, freedom! And let's see if they run towards you.
You know what? All this talk about bacon, you're going to have Dave calling in about 2 seconds.
Yeah. No, I've given my bacon to the gnomes and what else is he? Oh, if anybody out there wants to drive Dave completely insane, send him emails or posts on Facebook with a minion attached to it. Just a minion. Any minion memes, anything. It twists him right sideways. It's actually a lot of fun.
We're talking about diet bacon and diet pancakes. That twisted him in a knot.
I got up the other day and my daughter had made herself breakfast and she was off to school, and bless her little soul, she left me a piece of bacon on the plate and I ate it and I thought, that doesn't taste right. And it was turkey bacon.
You were eating diet bacon.
Yeah, it was turkey.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, which part of the turkey does the bacon come from? It's like, which part of the chicken does the nugget come from? Okay.
I'm not answering that.
This is me breathing a bit. Stand by. I'm going to turn off the mic so you guys don't hear me cough and sputter and breathe, because it's embarrassing. Really.
That's a sad commentary.
There's no such thing as diet pancakes and diet bacon, by the way.
How do you make a diet pancake?
Dave can tell you.
Yeah, that's just rude. Diet pancakes.
Yeah, when I saw his post about it, I about cringed.
Hey, Lisa.
Yes,
Christopher,
sir.
sit down.
Yeah.
I'm reading for Lisa now.
That's good.
So it's one of those cards where I flip over and I got to flip it back down and flip it over again.
Mm-hmm.
If your week has been, I want to say calm. Does that make any sense? Like really?
Today has been.
Yeah, but not the week?
Well, it's been a little bit calmer than they have been.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say completely calm now. I was with my daughter, helping her with her new business, and it's rough on me.
Yeah.
She's hard on me. She's my boss, and she's my daughter, so, yeah.
So she's getting
Not
back to
very
you for all that stuff in
That
school.
must be it.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Thank you.
I have this is a very dark card. And the card itself is a...
Yeah. I was waiting for that.
It's very
Depression?
calmingly dark. I'm not going to say depression. I'm going to say internal, if that means anything.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of going inside. You're floating inside, but it's like it's not like a tsunami. It's draining inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's flowing in a very calm way to fill you. That's okay. We'll see what the next card is.
I wonder what that means.
You don't know what that means?
I said I wonder. I mean...
Yeah, let me think about it.
It's okay. I'll probably think of it later, figure it out later. You know what they usually do.
It's this card usually, and it is primarily for me, it usually covers off the last week. The last week of emotion, and I believe I get this card and the second card as a it's for me to reinforce myself and to build my confidence. And I'm waiting for these two cards to mean something completely different one day, but usually it's for me to, when I say to you, okay, this is what is this how you felt last week? Does it resonate with you? And then if you say yes, then I think that boosts my confidence and I open up more on the other cards. So in looking at this card and you thinking of your last week, I'm thinking it's calming, and in turn you're taking what's going on around you, taking a deep breath and internalizing it and carrying it with you.
I have to. Okay.
The second card that I've pulled is it's like a very loving energy with, it's hard to explain. It's like, there's the picture itself, and then there's what I'm getting from the card, which sometimes they're a little bit off because as I say, I could pull this card for another person and it would mean something completely different. But it's loving energy with a split. It's similar to what I was talking to Sharon about on the something's going to happen, then there's going to drop, and there's an increase. Except this one is love, 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 boom, split, love, 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 love. It's like there's that in the middle of it.
It's my relationship with my daughter. Exactly.
And it goes two ways. It's her relationship with you too, because she's got tons of love for you. So never think she doesn't, because it's a mirrored relationship.
but there's huge resentment behind it, and so, yeah.
Do you meditate? I just flipped another card here.
No, I should.
Yes, you should.
I don't. I know.
You've got something...
That's a confirmation. I've been feeling that for like 3 weeks now. I've just been seeing it everywhere. You should meditate. Or thinking it, and I don't.
And you've got something... Okay, I want you to imagine all your spirit guides and your angels around you with legal pads.
I don't even know them. That's the thing. You know, I don't know any of them. I don't feel any of them. I don't see any of them. And I'm
welcome to the club. I don't either.
Yeah.
I just know one of them's name is Matthew, and he's the one I talk to. And I just
don't even know that.
I gave him the name. Actually, I'll tell you how to do that in a second. But I got to give you this card. You have something that you're either asking for, either praying for, and they want you to meditate on it. It's very, very good.
How do you meditate?
It's breathing. It's calming and breathing and relaxing.
You're just pushing everything else out of your head and
just focus.
That's the way I think of it. I guess I have to do that. It's hard to do that because I have so much internal pain that I don't want to think. So I try not to.
What? Okay, internal pain, physically or psychologically?
All of the above.
Okay, under your right, if you were standing up, your right elbow, where your right elbow touches your side, do you get a bit of a pain right there?
Oh my God. All the time.
Okay.
How did you know that? That is so crazy.
Because that's where we carry a lot of crap. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a semi-meditation. Right. And you've got to promise me to do this. And it's only 3 words. Okay? And I want you to do this when you're laying in bed. And it took me 7 nights before it finally cleared up. Imagine, think yourself back to as far as you can go in your life. Christopher, could you turn off your mic?
Oh, well, I forgot about it.
Yeah, no worries, brother. Thanks. If you could think back as far as you can to the first person who did anything that hurt you. And the 3 words in your head is, I forgive you. Then immediately move on to the next one. You do not have to dwell on the issue and from the bottom of your heart, forgive them. No, it's 3 words. I forgive you, move on. I don't care if you were sold to the crew of a Greek freighter. It's I forgive you. Don't dwell on the incident. And you go all the way up till like today. The guy who cuts you off in traffic. I forgive you. Then go to sleep. Do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And at one point, and like on my 7th night for me, I went back to that first incident, and I said, I forget. Crap, I don't care. I don't care. It's nothing to do with me anymore. It's all their luggage. And that pain in my right side has never come back. And I literally feel 2 inches taller. And now, when the guy cuts me off in traffic, I might have that little bit of steam come out the ears, and then I go, who cares? Because what we do is we carry all that stuff. Every religion in the world, I'm guessing other than whatever ISIS believes, but every religion in the world has a forgiveness connection to it. That's very important. Forgiving isn't just for the other person. It's more for us.
Right.
Because
I've heard that before.
One of the movies that I always relate this to is, I think it was Gumball Rally, when the Italians hop in the Ferrari and they had a race from LA to New York or whatever. And the driver grabs the rear view mirror off and throws it away. He says, what's behind us doesn't matter. That's exactly it.
Cool.
Take the lessons. If you dated a guy who was an ass, take the lessons of the date. Take the lessons of him being an ass, and don't forget when you see those signs again with another ass coming at you. But that specific person, those issues that he or she hurt you, is on them. It's nothing to do with you anymore. It taught you a lesson. Okay. Thank you very much. This won't happen again. I forgive you. Bye-bye. And that way you don't need to carry that gun. But anyway, that's the pain. So this meditation thing is just a part of focusing. I bet you'll get into the meditation. If you get rid of all that other baggage that you drag around, that you carry under that right elbow and your side. And if notice too, if you ever get that little pain in your side, what the heck was I thinking about? I was thinking about this, which relates directly at the age of 12 when I was being teased by so-and-so. And that's all it is. You're just you're reacting to it.
It's also that my right elbow, the left side of my right elbow hurt all the time as well. It's like, I don't know. Must be pretty heavy.
Yeah, that might be something. Somebody who's way above my pay grade may know if that
but it
projects.
Makes sense
but
what you're saying, though.
It's that right side thing. I'm actually pushing against mine right now. And everybody could do that. Everybody can basically, you're having a bad week or something, or a month, and you just go through the forgiveness thing. You had a bad day in traffic. All you're doing is you're putting all the energy that you sucked in as negative back on the people who created your emotion.
Okay.
And sometimes we are creating it all on our own. Because really, little old blue-haired ladies wearing a hat and barely looking over the dash, bless them. They can't drive worth crap. But you don't have to get mad at them. Just stay out of their way.
Okay.
Never go to Florida. That's the rule. Never drive in Florida.
I have never been to Florida.
Well, if you go, don't drive. Or if you're going to walk, don't walk on the sidewalks. That's where most of the old people drive.
I'm in Arizona, though, and there's a lot of old people around here. So
they are, and they're all Canadians, so stay away from them.
Well, my car died, so I can't drive anyway. So.
Oh, okay. So getting back to card number 3, the meditation. This may come a lot easier. It's a big smile. This is really cool. Something's going to happen in your meditation.
I hope so.
It's going to make you really happy. And there's something that you've been wanting. And when you start this meditation, you're going to see how it comes. You're going to see how asking for things isn't bad. And this is a really cool, whatever it is you're asking, you haven't asked for this yet. But when you do ask for it, it's going to come in and you go, oh, geez, that was cool. I should do this more often. But it's very, very positive. It's all to do with meditation. And it's, you could actually, Lisa, go on YouTube and they have guided meditations on there. I did meditation with Paisley last night and yesterday, actually, in my class. And she did a guided meditation. She's never done that before, and it was really, really good. And you just kind of tell. A guided meditation is where I tell you to sit down, relax. I want you to breathe in deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. It's completely guided. What to think about, how to relax, and do that. And you can throw go onto an iDevice or whatever and get onto YouTube. Just search guided meditation. Some of them are 10 minutes long. Some of them are an hour. And just listen to them and do what they say.
Do that, definitely.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Dean. Hold on. I got 4 more cards, young lady.
I'm not going anywhere. Just saying thanks for that because I need that. I needed to hear that.
Once you've gone through this, once you've done the meditation, you're going to find that your energy is going to really increase. This card that I pulled is a real light switch of a card. It's like an ascension. Your angel, who has been trying to communicate with you, you're going to start feeling a lot. You are going to connect. This angel's reaching down, and honestly, I usually get. This is the very first of all the people I've read for. This is the very first card that an angel is coming through to tell me that he, kind of, they're asexual, so we'll call her she. She's there. She's trying to get your attention, has been doing this for a long time. And for some reason, that part of you've been blocking. She's been around. She's probably been guiding you to do things like not stepping off a curb or not doing such stuff, whatever the angels do. But you're going to find that this person, I'm sorry, not a person, the angel will be more involved in your life. Hold on. What am I saying here? She's going to be more involved. You are going to see her more involved in your life. So what's happening is, that's what it is. You're going to see how she's been involved in your life in the past, and you're going to know when she's involved in your life in the future. A light's going to come on in your head going, oh, that's what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. Because you're not seeing it right now. You're not seeing how the other energy around you actually works. You will see how this works, and you'll make note of it going, oh, that's why I turned left instead of turning right. Or this is why I had a good sleep. Or this is why, I'm feeling really mellow right now. And thank you. And thank your angel. Because she's been there, and she's kind of pumped up that now she's going to go, okay, it's a two-way road where it's always been a one-way road for you. You not knowing that she's there doing stuff. That's very cool. I like it when I look at stuff and I get the information, go, oh, that's really cool. The next card is the next thing that's going to come is, it's hard to explain, but it's a blue purpley card. So, they don't say anything, but once you get focused, once your meditation and you start to do this and you actually really get good at focusing and relaxing and breathing, your meditation is going to take you to a deeper point inside of you, and that point inside of you is going to blossom to a higher vibration. Again, going back to the almost ascending to a higher vibration, but that vibration is going to allow you now, not only your angel's going to be your angel's coming in stronger than your spirit guides. Your spirit guides are hanging back. Because right now you need your angel for some reason. She's been the one most in your life. Your spirit guides are coming in too. So you will know when they're in. Now, you will get the name of a spirit guide. Your angel doesn't, your angel might give you a name. It's going to come in water. You're going to be in water. You're going to be swimming in a bath or in a shower. The reason most likely is because those are high conductors of energy. Okay, so if you happen to be in the shower and you basically a name comes to you out of the blue, that's going to be the first name that comes to you out of the blue is going to be your angel. It's going to be a female name. Your guides don't always have to be female. They could be male and female. But the first name that's going to come to you while you're around water, and I see it's moving water, so most likely a shower, or if you're swimming upstream to spawn or something, it's in moving water. You'll get a female name. That's the name you'll know your angel to be.
Okay.
So when you meditate or pray or whatever your communication system is, telex, whatever, that's the name you call her.
Okay.
Okay, and what that does, it's going to make it, two things will happen. It'll make it comfortable, and it becomes real to you because she's got a name. All right? And that's all good. And I'm going to flip a card because I'm getting that chill that says, okay, you've done well, move on. Okay, you are going to also get to a point in this ascension of energy where you are going to think that it's not going fast enough. Don't worry about it. Just move on. Everybody does that. You are going to get to that place where you're going to think, oh, crap. You know, I've been told I'll be able to, you know, walk on clouds and do all this stuff. When do I get there? Well, no. Energy is infinite, and you're tapping into it, but it doesn't mean you are also going to be hanging out with your angel. It's you are still who you are, and it's you're at the beginning of a I guess it is an ascension, because you're at the beginning of another phase in your life. But don't try to push it. Don't try to push this.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Say it again. Be
patient, right? That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I keep getting that.
Yeah, be patient. It's coming. You're kind of like me. I keep getting told that, I'm going to be able to have really good communication with my guides. Mm-hmm. A year ago, Joanna said it's going to be 2 years, and she forgot she told me that. And then last week or so, or a couple of days ago, she said, and it's going to be next fall. And I went, that makes sense, because you told me last year that it was going to be 2 years. And so I'm being given a whole bunch of these little bits and pieces as it moves through. So I've got your last card. Okay, I'm flipping it back over again because I was talking after I first flipped it. It's basically the yin and yang, positive and negative. The positive is really, really going to be big. The negative side is like it's like a water balloon with a pinprick in the bottom, and right now the water balloon represents negativity, and it's running out of the bottom of the balloon, and the balloon's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and behind it is it's like the water balloon is eclipsing the sun, and as the water balloon drains, the sun shines behind it. That's not what this card looks like, by the way. It's just a red splotchy thing, but that's exactly what I'm seeing. Is this whatever's been blocking the sun is slowly dribbling away. It doesn't disappear with a snap of the fingers. It's slowly dribbling away. So the positive is taking over whatever negativity is hanging in your life right now. So that is kind of cool. But that's not coming like tomorrow afternoon at 3. This is coming after your travel through meditation, calming yourself, and getting rid of all that peripheral crap. This also affects your second card, relationship with your daughter. Mm-hmm. That love split thing. That's all going to be fixed. Don't worry about that. Yeah, and that is, Lisa, that's based on the crap that you're still carrying. Mm-hmm. Does this resonate at all with you?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been crying this whole time that you've been talking, and yes.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I want you to, if I'd love to know the day you get the name. And it will probably come, and you won't even be thinking of it. And all of a sudden, you'll be thinking about groceries or something, and you get this woman's name over and over again, and you're going, "What the? Oh yeah, that's why I'm getting this name." And then once you accept the name, you will stop getting it. It won't come to you all the time.
You want me to tell you when I get it?
Sweet, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you, James.
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I'm amazed because I do that, and then it resonates because I start off at the beginning going, "Oh, this isn't going to make sense to anybody."
No, I mean it's like the absolute end. I mean, I don't know how else to. I mean, it's exactly what I needed to hear. It's exactly what's going on with me, and yeah, what else is there? You know?
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and remember, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and get one of those guided meditations. Be careful you don't pick one. Yeah, don't pick one that says third eye activation or.
I've done that before, though, by the way. And
cool.
Went to sleep listening to stuff like that. I don't know. It didn't seem to do anything to me, but yeah, I definitely will look for some guided meditation on YouTube. Thank you, James.
Okay, Lisa. Thank you very much.
I'm going to listen to the rest of your show.
But you mean the other 2 minutes and we're out of here?
Really? Wow.
Yeah, really.
I took you straight to the end of the show.
You
Hi,
did.
Guys.
Okay.
Hi,
thanks,
everybody
Lisa.
in the room. I love you all. Okay.
Love you
bye.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Christopher.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do a reading.
That's good. I am not going to try readings for a few days. I'm trying to slow down energy work.
Oh, perfect. And Christopher too. Yeah, we're buddies anyway, so you could always get a hold of me anytime in the week, and we could get together. So.
I talk to you almost all the time now.
Yeah. All right, brother. We're coming up to the end, and I want to thank everybody out there out in spaced out weekend land. And I apologize that we couldn't connect with Dr. Mary Barrett, but I will have Mary on in the next couple of weeks. And Paisley, a quick 5-minute reading. Oh my Lord. I want to thank everybody who did hang out, and I want you to all remember, please, let's all keep an open mind, and we can always know all about those Sasquatches and stuff. And I've got more questions for Joanna. Cool. Good night, everybody.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.